Yes, so now we are going to talk about energy counterpart. This is a very interesting topic because it explains a lot about life and incorporates a lot of topics in it that affect many people's lives and they don't know about it. Energy counterpart is a concept of having a soul which is a male and a female in the heavens, in eternal light, when it is in total unity. Coming down to life, the soul split into male-female components. They come to earth. Usually the male part of the soul get a male body, and the female part of the soul get a female body. They're of the same soul, so they have matching frequencies and energies and great love. But they're in separate location in the world, so everybody is looking for their soulmate to feel absolute match. Most of the times, what happens that is affecting our health and our spiritual strength is that if during life one half of the counterparts die physically, the physical body passes away and die, the soul of the dead person comes and joins the soul of the living person and call it back home. When the soul part of the dead body does not have a physical body to be in, its normal state of passage is to go back home. So of course it will pull with it its counterpart. But that counterpart has not finished its life. But it feels the lack of life and the call to go back home. And that person loses strength of life and will to live. And they start feeling depressed, tired, and easy to get ill. Because their life force is gone, pulled back. You understand? So, not having a living counterpart causes severe strength and livelihood problems, and it causes something else too. If the counterparts, by whatever reason, the male gets a female body, or the female gets a male body, that causes confusion in sexual identity. You understand? So, the male soul that receives a female body, what do you think that female body will feel, male, female? It will feel the soul desire for a counterpart of a male, of a female. So the male soul will want a female, but this is a female body, and it desires a female energy instead of a male, because of the entry into a physical body of the opposite sex of the soul. So that's what we call people who have natural attraction to the same gender. Okay, but that's a spiritual condition that is unchangeable. You cannot tell the person that have a male soul to feel female because your body is like that. This is a given condition, it's unchangeable. So, if we want to bring livelihood again to the living person, the solution for that is to ask the Creator to connect that soul to a living counterpart again. So, the creator adds the living counterpart to the living. Then life and livelihood and strength and force come back to you. So there are many souls that have same frequencies. Similar frequencies because they're from the same class, the same group, the same batch. So then the creator attach on the higher levels the same frequency, living counterpart, and then when we request that, it comes back to strength and livelihood and they stop being depressive. Many teenagers go into depression unknowingly why, and it happens or because past life trauma, black pit, dissociated part, etc., or from loss of energy counterpart. Suddenly they want to die, they don't have will to live, they become very tired, they want to sleep all the time, etc. You understand? But it can also happen in the middle of life, when the counterpart dies. In one of the courses I gave in Arcturus, I think in 2013 or 14, there was a lady who was taking the course. And when we did this part about the energy counterpart and we brought it back, she said, this is the first time since 10 years when I'm feeling alive again. And she says, I didn't know why, but I felt depressive and melancholic and will to die, but there wasn't a reason for it in my life, but I felt it, and now I'm feeling alive again. And it was just like that request, simple as that. So in the one method, we give you very easy and quick solutions, powerful, long-lasting solutions for very complex conditions. Okay. So what do we do? Yes, question?
Donc quand on demande de ramener l'équivalence, c'est dans le corps de la personne qui est en vie. Je n'ai pas très bien compris.
Repeat the question for everyone. The question is...
What she has to do if she has a dead counterpart.
We're going to talk about it now. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm not just going to tell you about it without a resolution. Yes, question.
Yeah, question. You said the counterpart is, there's female and a male part. They both choose a new life, coming down.
So the male and the female parts of the soul is complete in unity on the heavens, on the higher dimensions. As it is coming down, in the right timing they split for male part soul and a female part soul. Yes?
And then in the original setting the scene, while in the class, in the deployment area and such.
This is between lives. This is when the soul comes down.
I know, but making the plan for the lives on Earth, you decide whether you're a male or a female.
Correct.
So how is it that the male chooses the male part, the counterpart chooses a female life?
The question is, I understand your question. Remember when we talked about the cycle of life? And we talked about the deployment part when the dead person comes back home after meeting a familiar person first, then going to the committee to review the life and decide what you did or not do yet. How did you do it? Then you go to deployment area. From there you go to your class. So from that perspective, the male and female parts have to be united. But if only half of it, then that part has to be gone to that group. And when the other part comes, then it is complete.
And then after that, they choose new life.
The united soul on higher level choose new life, and then it is decided when and where, because it is possible that the male will come first and the female will wait a few years and come later, and it will be on another part of the universe or the world, in another country, or it can be different generations. It can be a grandfather and grandchild as soulmates.
And when you are talking about the people who choose the same gender in partnership, the lesbians, the homosexuals, how is it that, what is it in the plan made up in the choosing the new life?
Yeah, so the question is, when is it decided about the gender of the body and the soul match or mismatch?
Yeah.
When is it decided? It is decided at the time of the soul decision to come back to earth, because it depends on the lesson the soul wants to learn and complete.
So it's not a condition, it's a choice.
It's a choice.
Okay, thank you.
It's not forced, it's a choice, because if the soul, for instance, before coming to earth, decides it wants to learn about survival. So, if in the past karma the body was in female and it didn't survive, now it may want to have a male body, to have different strength or different perspective. Yeah. Or if the will is to hide, if the will of the soul to come down to earth to experience is to hide, hide from who you are, what you are, then you may get a different body to experience the need to be hiding. Not the lesson is historical, but the manifestation is I have to hide something about myself or my sexuality or my self-definition, etc. So then it happens.
It's a choice.
So it's a choice for a lesson how to manifest it on earth. That's why. Thank you. That's a very good question. That's a higher understanding of the reasoning for this. Question?
Yes. Can you change, like for instance you said hiding, you choose for the experience of hiding. Then once you are on earth, can you change that? That you don't
You can
have to
heal
hide
and complete
anymore?
the lesson, but you do not change your gender and soul match. If you have a soul male and a body of a female, this is a given condition. But if you complete the lesson of the soul wound, number 3 of the soul's will, and the will was one of 12 to hide, and you healed it, there's no need to hide. So in this life now, you do not need to hide your sexuality, your relationship, your attractions, who you are, what you are, your self-definition is not needed to be hidden anymore, because the origin is cleared and the lesson is cleared and completed. Completed lessons do not need to repeat anymore. Okay, you understand? So when we learn in the 3rd course on the lessons, we figure out which lesson it is and why we behave like this, because of the lesson. When you finish the lesson, then it's finished. You don't need to repeat it anymore, it's gone. Then you deal with other topics, other lessons that are still there for you that you chose to deal with on this life. That's understood. So before we clear the issue, I want to expand a little bit about sexual identity with this topic. It's not about about a soul counterpart, but it's about homosexuality and the reasons for it. What can be healed with the one method and what cannot. Just that you understand it, just a little niche about it. So, when the soul splits and part of the soul is male and part is female, they come to earth on the time that they come. The male soul gets a female body, the female soul gets a male body. Okay. So, this is identity, how I feel. I feel female or I feel male, regardless of my body. How I feel inside, my soul feels. Alright, so this is a given situation, it's not changeable. Unless you do a sexual change in your in surgery and change the external features. But there are other reasons why a male soul in a male body will feel female, or a female soul in a female body would be attracted to females. These conditions are because of past life events, traumas. That's number one. That can be healed? Yes. 2, entry of satanic entities, confusion entities, and sexual desire entities to the crown on high spiritual level, confusing you with your attractions. That is spiritual invasion of dark forces that confuse your identity. You understand? So is this treatable? Yes, we can treat that with that one method. There are vows and oaths from past lives about sexual behavior and abilities and possibilities which are blocking us and guiding our behavior and feelings. Can we clear it with the one method? Yes. There are traumas from the dynasty about sexual identity. And if this is in the system from before the conception, during conception, through pregnancy and birth and early baby years, that can be cleared. And that can impose sexual choice and sexual identity and sexual behavior. Especially if there's incest in the family. Especially with incest in the family. Another option is sexual abuse in childhood, not necessarily incest, but possibly also incest. And the children, the people, avoid the intrusive sex, and they choose others that are less threatening. Then that can be healed. And people who have influence of others, people who have attachment of other people, and their thoughts, beliefs, manner of life, lifestyle, and entities pass on to you in puberty. And then there's confusion about your sexual identity and practices, and then it is imprinted like this, and then you just stay in that role, regardless if it is your true identity or not. All these possibilities are treatable if a person wants to change it. It is treatable. Except for if the soul is male and the body is female, then this is a given state, and there is a reason